Hello, my fellow humans, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. We're all here sharing this human experience together. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. If the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So we are looking into why do men secretly find you attractive, and I'm going to be doing one for women as well. I try to bring these out in tandem with one another because I do get requests for both. So we are just starting with this one today because I woke up from a nap and it was like I was getting poked by a source, like, hey, it's time to do this reading and do this one. So there's definitely a message that needs to come out for somebody, or somebody's looking for some kind of confirmation, and that could be everybody here as well. But also, before we get into the prayer, just wanted to mention, like, one of the strongest things that came out was your spirituality. And today I felt called to picking one dice, one of the numbers, the houses, the zodiacs, and the planets. And when I always roll these before I start the reading, we got the 9th house Sagittarius and Jupiter energy. We got all Sagittarius energy here across the board. It was so powerful. I just sat there and laughed. I was like, oh, source. Because it doesn't happen very often. It has happened. It's been known to happen, right? But it just doesn't happen very often. And so it's just so powerful coming in. And the message was that you are like a forbidden fruit to so many men, and you make them question the reality that they have grown to maybe trust in or to believe in. And your spirituality digs a little bit deeper. It's like you put hooks in them and you draw them to you, and they can't help but be intrigued by you because of that. And your energy is intoxicating to them, and they are feeling like you're somebody that's filled with so much life and vitality, and you've got so much abundance. You're a mystery, you're shrouded in mystery, and there's so much more to you than they ever initially had imagined. So when they first see you, they're immediately attracted to you physically, but the more that they get to know you and they open up with you and they connect with you, they recognize that there's a much more profound side of you that they had yet to even understand or realize. And that side is what is really standing out for them as the collective right now. That's what's really standing out. So let's hop to the prayer, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into the collective message after we get some cards out for you to pick from for your piles, okay? So what a profound message. It's just so strong. It's so funny. I literally just woke up from a nap. So I'm feeling pretty good. I definitely needed it. I was very active this morning. Got up, got a whole bunch of workout done. Just kind of tackled my day like it was going out of style, I guess. So, all right. My beloved source, this prayer is for any and everyone who comes onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. Today I ask that you remind us that we are attractive, we are lovable, we are enough. In this moment, we need not be anybody other than who we are to be accepted, to be seen. And also to remember that if people aren't accepting us as we are, if they're telling us we need to change, or they're saying we need to do something in order to be more lovable, that these are very clear signs that they're not for us. They're not meant to be on the journey with us, and that we can let go without guilt, that it's okay to say no, that it's okay to set a boundary. Sometimes our fear is that we're letting someone down, or we're going to hurt someone, and we've been raised not to do that. Don't hurt other people. Don't make any other people suffer. And while that's true, to some extent. The instances that we've been raised to believe that in is oftentimes to say no to ourselves when we need to say yes to ourselves. And rejection is a part of that. We've seen rejection as a bad thing. And while rejection hurts, rejection is also bravery. For us to reject someone says, we're not hurting you, we're letting you go instead of stringing you on and making things more uncomfortable. Even for ourselves, if someone rejects us, remember to look at that from a positive aspect and saying, well, they were brave enough to let me go and not keep me questioning and not keep me wondering about what could potentially happen next, or if this was something that was going to go somewhere when it really wasn't. So helping us to re-examine our perspective when it comes to us saying no, setting boundaries, and letting people go, while also embracing the truth that we are lovable, we are amazing, we are enough, and in this moment, we are a treasure and we matter. As these words are spoken onto this tribe and upon this reading today, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans. Really felt called to using these today. I love that the prayer came out on the bottom and was present with us while we were doing the prayer today. So let me go ahead and give these a quick shuffle. These are very awkward for me to shuffle, so I'm going to do my best. Yeah, it feels like there's someone here, like, you're seeing the mask. Oh, yeah. That's why men are secretly attracted to you, because you see the mask. You see behind the mask the part of themselves that they've hidden, and you call to that part of themselves, and they feel like they don't have to explain themselves, but also there's a part of them that fears that you're going to use that as a weapon against them. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Why are men secretly attracted to you? There's hope. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Okay, thank you. Why are men secretly attracted to you? You're not afraid of the darkness and the light. That's interesting. Okay, pile one. Why are men secretly attracted to you? What archetype is going to help us better understand this today? Thank you. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Pile two. What archetype oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today? Okay, thank you. All right, pile number three. Why are men secretly attracted to you? What archetype is going to help us better understand this today? Thank you, source. All right, collective energy. What do we got? The stone. An immovable force. Like, you are somebody that does not change who you are just because men are fawning over you or are trying to impress you, or they are trying to, you know, again, the mask, like I was saying as we were shuffling, the mask that was coming through, it's like you see beyond the mask. And while that intrigues so many men, it also scares other men. It's like they fear that you're going to use that as a weapon against them. But also at the same time, it's like no matter how cool a guy tries to be, you're not impressed by that. Like, that don't impress me much. So you got the looks, but have you got the touch? Don't get me wrong, yeah, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. Who is that, a Shania Twain song? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and even if you're a guy on here, like, that doesn't matter, right? But what it's saying is, it's like, okay, you're good looking, but that's not as impressive as you think it is. Okay, so you're smart. That's not as impressive as you think it is. Okay, so you got mansions and cars and money. All right, but that's not as impressive as you think it is. There's only one way to impress you, and that is through emotional maturity and stable spiritual connection and someone who's not afraid to understand and know oneself. You're unmovable in this regard. And while many men have definitely been stuck between a rock and a hard place here with you, trying to demolish this strength that you have, trying to barrel over that, you don't relent. You're just the same no matter what. You're not hiding behind a mask. You're showing yourself for the truth of who you are. And it's something that has taken a long time to mold. Or maybe the better way to look at this is not that you were molding yourself, but that you were chipping away at the garbage and the illusions and the toxic beliefs that had kept you hidden. And now you're finding something beneath the surface. You're finding something that is much more beautiful and something that is much more profound. And that is something that a lot of men find incredibly attractive because you're very confident and comfortable in who you are. All right, let's see what this says from the book. This is 67. 67. No, I have that song stuck in my head. That don't impress me much. So the stone says the eternal, the anchor, the rock, right? Stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're the rock, and the hard place is their emotional ego saying, oh, we'll get through this. We'll be able to break through this. But you can't break through someone's confidence like that when they are settled and secure in who they are. And as much as there's been many men who've tried to, there are even more men who have definitely tested those boundaries, but have found that the resistance that you give them is incredibly attractive. So it says, build a cairn in nature. Find inspiration in Andy Goldworthy's stone egg forms. And then it also says, in Jewish mourning traditions, stones are left at graves rather than flowers. Sit with this vision for a moment and see what unfolds. So the unknown, there's something dangerous about you. And I was getting that too. Like if you just showed up for the collective reading, you can go back there's been a little bit of information that's been kind of scattered out since before the prayer. And it's because the information was just very powerful coming in. But it's just talking about there's something dangerous about you, but also there is that spiritual, right? When I shuffled these dice and they came out all Sagittarius energy here, 9th house Sagittarius and Jupiter, it was all about your connection, your abilities, your psychic connections. So it says, as an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. That's the first line. What a powerful message. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. Yeah, unmovable. That's the energy I keep getting. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go. Therefore, it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side. No matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to earth, helping to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. And that's the thing. It's like you're so consistent in your energy that their chaos is no match. And in that, somehow, some way, shape, or form, many men are able to find peace because of that. You're the rock that anchors them into this reality without believing in the illusions that they had once trusted in or had allowed to run their lives. So it says, when light, you're steadfast, loyal, committed, and present. When dark, you're weighted down, holding back, and cold. To go deeper, check out Caspar David Friedrich's A Walk at Dusk. Yeah, so you're just a very strong and steady energy, and you don't question who you are, which allows you to stand firm against anybody's poking and prodding and trying to, and I'm not trying to sound dirty here, I'm not. Someone was like, ooh, dirty. I heard it so loud. Ooh, dirty. Sorry, but you don't, it doesn't matter. Like, if they're trying to test you, they can't, because you're very confident and comfortable in who you are. And that's because it's taken you time to get here. All right. Oh. All right, let's get this set up here. Are we in frame? We're in frame for pile 1. We've got the 9th house. We also have this beautiful piece of amethyst for you to choose from. Pile number 2, we have Sagittarius. And this is not just for Sagittarians. It's just something to choose from. We have this little banjo pin for you to choose from. In pile 3, we have this dice with Jupiter. Or we have this crystal quartz for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you there. Hello, my fellow human. If you are drawn to this dice with the 9th house on it, or maybe you felt called to this amethyst, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on why do men secretly find you attractive. So we're all here sharing this human experience together. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining us. If you're new here, welcome. I do things differently here on this channel, so that being said, there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There is no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. And if the messages do happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that, your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing today. And I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you. So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out why men secretly are attracted to you. We're going to get there. It's been one of those days. I mentioned in the beginning how I just woken up from a nap and felt called to doing this reading. So pile 1, why are men secretly attracted to you? Why are men secretly attracted to you, pile 1? Source, what would you like to share today? Okay, so we've got the 12th house, we've got Virgo energy, and we have got Saturn. Okay. So if you haven't, you may resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning, and that will be timestamped down below if you feel called to. There's no obligation to check it out, but you might find some additional messages there. Why are men secretly attracted to you? You see things about them that no one else does. And you might bring it up in conversation, like casual conversation. But I also feel like there's something about the way when you look into their eyes, let's hear that. Can you feel the love tonight? I don't know why this song is coming in, but it's coming in right now. The peace the evening brings. Okay. But yeah, see, there's something when you look into their eyes, like they can't help but fall in love. Like you have very beautiful, very attractive, very mysterious, very alluring eyes. Like your eyes are a beautiful color. There's something about like when they look into your eyes, like they feel like you see straight to their soul and they can't hide themselves from you. But also because regardless of that, like you're not someone that's going to use that to target them either, even though you could. And they would probably just deny it if you did, right? Like if you tried to target them with something that you found out that you weren't supposed to know, like they would probably deny it. But I feel like there's also something that it gives them that edge, right? Like all your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections, is all of me, loves all of you. What the heck is it, pile one? A lot of music coming through, which makes sense with 12th house coming out as well too. So maybe you sing a lot, or maybe you connect through music, or you could be performing for people too, or you do some sort of like playing an instrument, or you are trying to get your music off the ground. There's something about it, but there's something really deep about your music. And there's something about like maybe when you sing, you look at people right in their face, and men especially feel like you're singing straight to them. But you're still really humble and really kind, and there's something really soft about you. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're non-binary, whatever you identify with, none of that matters here. But there is definitely a very kind, gentle, comfort feeling about you that draws them in. I do feel like men get addicted to you. So I'm just going to bring this up. This might be a trigger warning for somebody here. So I just want to mention that really quickly. But maybe you've had men stalk you in the past because they just get absolutely obsessed with you and they just can't get enough. Especially with Saturn here, I feel like there's been a lot of difficulties, like men trying to track you down or men trying to, invade in your private space, your personal space. And you're still trying to do your best with keeping that professional or it feels very professional. Like I'm trying to keep things professional. I'm trying to keep things not necessarily surface level, but just some sort of decorum here is what it feels like. Like I'm just trying to keep things, in this safe boundary for yourself. But they also, like, there's other men here who feel like you are a very hard worker, like you have earned your keep, you've earned your spot, you've earned your position. And I do feel like there's some men here who really feel like you deserve to have even more than what you have. And there's a lot of times when they fear like they're not going to be able to give that to you. And so if you struggle connecting with men, like if you want a relationship with a man, like sometimes there's men here where they want to be that person, but they deal with their own insecurities as well. Like they fear that they're not going to be able to give that to you because you're such a bright, shining star, right? As I'll shine your way. I don't know who sings that. The Shine Down, I think. No, not the Shine Down. Who sings that? Who's the one that's saying, hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? You're a million miles away, but tonight you look so pretty, yes you do. Oh my gosh, there's so many songs coming in for you, but I think it's that same group. I can't remember who sings it. It's so crazy. I haven't even heard that Hey There Delilah probably in a decade. It's wild. So yeah, there's something about you, like, it's just, like, they just can't, like, they have their eyes on you, they can't stop watching you. There's something very feminine about you, and it's just the way that you are, like, the energy that you exude. It's healing. It's even overpowering, but in a good way. It's like, I just want to wrap up in a nice cozy blanket with you and sit in front of a fire. Like, that's how I feel like in your energy. And I feel like that's the same type of things that men, why they're secretly attracted to you. Like, they just feel like that's what they could do. Like, let's get and I know this is not going to be for everybody, but let's just lay on the bearskin rug and we'll just waste the night being in each other's arms. Like, that's the type of energy coming in here. Why are men secretly attracted to you, pile one? Oh, this is an interesting energy that I am getting from this Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups talks about family, right? But when it came out, it's like you break family patterns for them. Like, you are so different from anybody that they've ever connected with in their past. Like, you know, other people that they've dated, and you're so different from their family, their patterns that they have received, the generational curses in their family. And that is something that's very intriguing to them. They do at times put you on a pedestal, and I do feel like that's sometimes very disappointing for you, because you're like, the more you admire me in this way, the more that you're going to be disappointed when you figure out that I'm just human like the rest of you. And I feel like that sometimes has happened before with those false expectations. But also I feel like when they see you, they are imagining what it would be like to have a family with you. Like, what would it be like to be parents together? What would it be like to go and travel the world together? What would it be like to hold hands and say, this is my person, right? I feel like I want to get one more. Why are men secretly attracted to you, pile one? Yeah, okay, so two more. All right, source. I did not want to do a 5-card draw, but we're going with it. Sometimes we just have to. All right. I have that Hey There Delilah song stuck in my head. Yeah, the 6 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You're like the rainbow after the storm, the hope after the storm. And this could be also pointing at that these are men that you maybe don't see in an attractive way. Like, you're not seeing them as husband, boyfriend, partner material. Like, you rather are seeing them as friend material. Or it's just like, maybe there's some reason for that as well. Like, maybe you already have somebody in your life, and it's like, we can't go beyond that, right? Like, there has to be some sort of boundaries there, which would make sense. So the boundaries, like, you know, you're trying to keep some sort of safety, some sort of line in the sand. Like, we can't cross this line in the sand is what it feels like. And so it's easier to see them as friends. It's easier to see them as coworkers, or it's easier to see them as groupies is also coming in here, right? But we can't go beyond that. And I feel like you hold yourself to a very high standard, which is good. And you are the one that's always drawing the line in the sand. So it's like, where they might be pushing those boundaries, you're the one that's saying, no, we need to step back. We need to take a moment here. But I do feel like that there's a lot of these men who are trying to support you in the best way that they know how. And they're very, very attracted to you. You're very confident in who you are. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, look, you've got the Father of Cups and the Father of Wands here. You are very emotionally mature. You could be a Pisces. You could have a Pisces sun, Sag rising. You could have your sun in Sag, a Pisces rising. You could have Gemini in the 9th house and the 6th house. You could have Leo moon is coming in here. Or you could have also Pisces 12th house, or Sagittarius in the 12th house is coming in. Okay, so you also, pile one, we got Sagittarius energy for the collective message. That was something that came through really strongly. So that is why I recommend, again, if you feel drawn to checking out the collective message, there might be additional messages there for you. You elicit a sense of nervousness in a lot of guys. Like, I feel like most of the men that are attracted to you are men who are at the top of their game. And that standards thing is coming in again. It's like, these are men who want who they want, and they're not, like, it's not a challenge for them to get the people that they want in their lives. Like, they can generally get whoever. They're really good looking, they're confident, they have money, they have, you know, they have a good background, they have stable lives, they can provide for whoever it is that comes into their lives. And they're not afraid to do that. But also, that's not something that you're necessarily looking for. While those are all bonuses, you're looking for someone who isn't afraid to be themselves, who isn't afraid to grow emotionally and spiritually. And I feel like that is something that a lot of men find very attractive about you, pile one, is because you recognize right away, you recognize the BS. It's like, you're not playing those games. You're like, look, I'm not going to play this game with you. I'm not going to go down this whole who has it better in this game, who can flirt better in this game, who's wittier in this game, who can play the game better, because you just have stepped outside of the game. You're like, I just don't play that at all. And there's actually men that are like, whoa, I never realized that was an option. But you're the one that presented that option to them. And they were like, oh my gosh, what is that like? And they stepped outside of the game too. And that has made them nervous, but it has also pointed out a lot of things to them. And you're the reason. You're the reason for me to change who I used to be. A reason to start over new. And the reason is you. Yeah, so whoa. Something about music with you guys. Very strong music. Music's coming in. But like, look at this lightning bolt here. It's on both of these cards. Very powerful energy. It's like a shock. Pile one, you're a shock to their system. It's almost as if your spirit comes in and it remembers, or it reminds their spirit of who they're supposed to be. And so it's like they're hit by this shock wave. And suddenly, oh my gosh, there's another option here. There's another way to do this here. And they're also, when they're with you, a lot of their insecurities become very clear to them. Like insecurities that they don't feel with anybody else. Like they're pretty confident themselves. They're pretty stable themselves. They can get anybody they want. And yet they're in your presence and they're suddenly like realizing like, oh, wow, I never realized this about myself, or I never realized this about myself. You know, whether that's I still have to heal emotionally, or I still have to let go, or have to actually up my confidence too, because I'm actually not as confident as I thought I was, right? And it's not anything that you're pointing out. It's not like you're doing anything to harm them personally or anything like that. Like you're just being you. It's just that your energy is so strong. And it's like, it's very overwhelming. It's very overwhelming in a good way. Like I said, it's just like I said, I want to curl up with you with a blanket in front of a fire. And yet I also want to be like secure for you. Like I'm getting all of these energies coming in from these men. It's like they want to provide you with security, but you're already so secure in who you are and where you're going in your life that you don't need that. And that renders them obsolete in a way. And that's why I feel like they're realizing like, oh, my confidence isn't as high as I thought it was. Like I'm the protector, I'm the provider. But with pile one, they don't need to be provided for and they don't need protection. It's something you might want. It's definitely something that you might be thinking like, oh yeah, I would like that in a partner, but it's also not something that you're like begging for either. You're not like, oh my gosh, I can't do without this, because you've learned to be that for yourself. And you are providing yourself with the experience of having a man in your life by being that to yourself. And thus it gives you a different type of energy because you're not desperate. You're not begging for anything. You're not missing out on anything, right? You are blissfully happy in who you are and experiencing the journey as it unfolds. And I feel like why men are also secretly attracted to you is because you're at a level of emotional maturity that they've never dealt with before in their lives. And it's making them realize that, oh my gosh, you know, I've always dated people, or I've always been around people who don't have their stuff together, right? Yeah, so stable. You were so stable. So we've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius with fixed energy here. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. Yeah, you are very stable in yourself, in your journey, who you are. You know what you're capable of, and you really believe in yourself, and you're not looking to others to validate you. And that's an entire, like a highly, highly attractive trait. What did I say? You don't need a protector. We've got Mars energy. Move forward and defend self. It's not that you don't want somebody to come in and protect you, but it's also something you're not like, oh, I need a man in my life to do this for me. I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to take care of myself, because if I don't, I know no one's going to come in and do that for me. And that's the type of energy that you're putting out. And that is something that they find very attractive. But also, because it is Mars energy, you may find that while a lot of men are super, super attracted to you, I was getting that in the beginning too, where they might just kind of bunk out, or you find it really hard to connect with men. It's because there's a lot of men who also find this intimidating for someone who, you know, when they're used to being the protector, they're used to taking control, and now they don't have any means of doing that with you, right? And again, it's not from a malicious place. It's just old belief systems saying like, well, the man's the breadwinner, the man's the protector, the man's the one that has to be there. And I feel like for you, Pile, when you are more than willing to step into that divine feminine energy where you get taken care of and you get supported and you get loved and cherished, but it has to be a man who's willing to also accept your more masculine side, because that's a part of who you are. It's not you always being in the masculine, but there is a part of you that is very direct and very blunt about who you are and what it is that you want. You don't mess around about the things that you desire. And that can be kind of intimidating. All right. Yeah. Transformation is beautiful. And that's the other thing that they find very attractive about you, is that you're always transforming. You're not the same person. Like, even if they've only known you for a short while, like, you are constantly unfolding and constantly growing and constantly becoming something more. Very spiritual. Again, the 11 here, very spiritual connection that you have with the divine. You listen to your intuition. You trust your gut. You are not questioning the gut feelings that you're getting. So it's like you let yourself be seen in that. And that's very vulnerable too, right? Like, even if you're saying goodbye to someone, that's a very vulnerable place to be at. It's like, we talked about that in the prayer. It's interesting. We were talking about rejection in the prayer because it came up so strong. It's like, everybody thinks to be rejected, it hurts so much to be rejected. We just have this skewed perception on rejection. It does hurt to be rejected, but we should also be grateful for rejection, because it's showing that this person was brave enough to say, no, you're not the person for me, rather than dragging us on and creating a whole nother mess where maybe they've spent years and years with us and they already knew from the get-go that we weren't for them. And we get invested in a situation, right? So we have to look at rejection as letting people go so that they can find what's really for them. And seeing it the same for us. If someone rejects us, it's because they're letting us go so we can find what's truly for us. Rather than seeing it as like, oh my gosh, I'm not enough, or how could you hurt me like this? Like, we have this societal perception that we've all said, like, oh, rejection's this terrible, terrible thing. And it's actually not. It's freeing. It frees us from something that's not meant for us. But a lot of us don't look at it that way. And so I do feel like there's men here that you have rejected, and they're like realizing that, right? They're realizing like, oh, okay, like they rejected me, but I also feel like I was not going to be able to give them what they needed. So they did trust their intuition. That's a very vulnerable place to come from. We had a companion that flipped out here. Look at this. Light attributes. Loyalty. The first thing, loyalty on this card too. Yeah, so loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. This very feminine energy here. Very feminine. And we have shadow attributes here, which are betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. Yeah, so you make a powerful companion, which is making me feel like this could be a man or a group of men who you consider as friends, not as more than friends, but they're still attracted to you. Like they're still very attracted to you. And I know it's a very specific message that's not going to resonate with everybody, but that was an energy that was coming through very strongly in the get-go. Yeah, and the secret has to do with your thirst for wisdom, right? It says thirst for wisdom and a truth for wherever you go. And the shadow is inability to commit to a path once found. Like you are not questioning yourself, your path, the journey that you're on in the least. You are very stable in your approach to who you are, your life, and what it is that you're looking for or what it is that you want to become as you move forward. And that settled energy in yourself is something that they're secretly attracted to. Yeah, and you also are this wake-up call for them, right? That's why I feel like this goes back to what I was saying. Like you gave them another option. You don't play the game, you stepped outside of the game, and it was like suddenly, oh, I can do that? All right, let's try that, right? That was the wake-up call. Like you helped them see things that they were just happy being ignorant to, or that it was just easier to ignore, or that maybe they just weren't even aware of, right? And by helping them see those things, now they're able to grow themselves. I do feel like a lot of men look to you for guidance and advice. And a lot of men look to you for stability. Yeah, Uranus, expect miracles. You may have also gone through a sudden glow up recently as well. And that does attribute to some attraction from these men. But I feel like there's a lot of the men here in your energy that were always attracted to you in your glow up. It's like they're cheering you on from behind closed doors. They're cheering you on from behind the scenes. And some of them may be cheering you on face to face, okay? But that's what when they see you, they expect miracles. They expect change. They expect growth. They expect transformation. Like nothing is the same. Every time they meet you, it's always vastly different than the time before. And I feel like it's because you're embracing every day we're a new human, right? You're a very courageous person. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. It seems like you approach life with this fearless attitude, but I actually feel like many of you are scared. You're scared to do the things that matter to you. You're scared to take on what challenges are there, but you still face them regardless of that fear. That's what courage is. It's like, even though there's fear, I'm still going to face those challenges. And that's something that they're absolutely smitten by, because nothing seems to scare you. Like nothing seems to bother you. You give them courage to face things that they would rather not face too. And they're like, a lot of them are thinking, well, if pile one can do it, then I can do it too. And that's another reason why they're attracted to you. I feel like they use you as a model, as an example for their own lives. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's a lot of men here who look to you for advice, for confidences, for loyalty, for stability. Like they come to you for guidance, right? Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you don't look at people for their failures. You see them as mistakes and you move on. And you're not going to hold that over their head. Like you're not somebody that's going to bring this up 10 years down the road and be like, well, remember that one time? Like you don't ever do that, right? That goes back to that energy I was getting. Like it's, you see to their soul and it's something that you could use against them, but you don't use it against them because it's not an energy that you come from. I feel like this one wants to go next. Yeah. Lunar eclipse, out with the old. Yeah. You help them question old beliefs, old patterns that they had grown accustomed to. Magic works through you. You're a very magical person. That's the thing. Expect miracles and magic. It's like they just see you changing the world. They see you changing so much just by being yourself. And that's something they're so attracted to. Yeah, and you help them see clearly. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Right? So yeah, there's something about music here for you for sure, pile one. Maybe they feel like you talk to them a lot through music, or again, maybe you perform music. That's something that's very specific to this pile. But whatever it is, there's like maybe you share music with them, or you guys, you know, get together and you have cookouts, and, you know, you're like always hanging out with a certain group of guys, and these guys are all attracted to you and they all see very similar things about you. But also there's something about your eyes. You have incredibly beautiful eyes, and that's another thing that's so strong coming in here. All right, so let's take a look at your card. We're going to read this from the book and see what it says. The storm. What is this? Look at the lightning bolts. Oh my gosh, do you guys see this? We were talking about the lightning bolt earlier in your reading. What? Oh my goodness. You came in like a lightning bolt, like a shock. Okay, what is this? This is 47? Yeah, 47. 47. Look at this. This is wild. The chaos, the whirlwind, the disorder. Wasn't I saying that like some guys like try to push those boundaries? That's that chaos. They're trying to push those boundaries, and you don't waver. It says the storm's intention is to rebalance your equilibrium. It is a result of precarious conditions, not the cause of them. The storm lays bare the truth that there are forces larger than you. This understanding is a relief, but also predicament of power that requires your surrender. Yeah, so a lot of men are attracted to you because you bring this chaos, this storm, that also it's like the storm is there and it's making them see different things about themselves, but then there's a calm that comes after the storm. It says possessing an energy much like the Tarot's Tower card, or from the Tarot Marseille would be the House of God. It says the storm undoes all that is. Everything that was solid, unknown, and relied upon is stripped away by the winds of fate. Oh, there's a different option? I didn't know that. That's what they love about you, pile one. The ground becomes the sky becomes the center, and the center disappears. The storm is a great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on the path, no matter our age, wealth, or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. Their disturbing howls stir anxiety and make it impossible to see and think straight. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the storm, you will lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter in a reliable friend. When all else fails, go within. There, for a moment, you settle into the eye of a storm. And again, something about your eyes. What? This is so crazy. Okay, we have when light, your meaningful obliteration and annihilation. Yeah, you destroy old social beliefs and norms for them. And they enjoy that. There's something about it that gives them a sense of freedom. Like, oh, I can see this differently. When dark, meaningless disorder and dysfunction. To go deeper, check out the tornado scene in The Wizard of Oz. And Rilke's The Man Watching. Interesting. So you just totally demolish things that they thought had to be. And that's why I was saying, like, with the collective message, we talked about spirituality, and with the 12th house coming out here too, there's something about your psychic abilities that helps them see things completely different, right? And that's also something that's scary to them, because you gave them a different insight from a different perspective that actually made logical sense, something they couldn't refute. And so that's a very powerful energy that's coming in. What an incredible reading. Truly an incredible reading. So this is what I see here for you today, pile number one. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little lightning bolt emoji down below and say, I come in like a storm and I clear away what no longer serves others so that I can make way for peace, calm, and prosperity. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find everything you need in the description box below. So with that, I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Sagittarius on it, and just something to choose from, doesn't mean that this is just for Sagittarians, but if you're here because you are, that is fine too. Or perhaps you felt called to this banjo pin. Or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle. This is going to be a reading on why are men secretly attracted to you. We're all here sharing this human experience together. And I do things differently here on this channel. So there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. Your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So with that, let's go ahead and up to it and find out pile 2. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Why are men secretly attracted to you? Pile 2 source, what would you like to share with us today? Why are men secretly attracted to you? Okay. So we've got the 4th house, we've got Libra energy, and we've got the South Node. Interesting. You know, I'm just going to say this. It's very interesting that you guys, I mean, we might get into it where there's been a lot of music. There's been a lot of music this whole reading. But you guys actually picked the banjo, which is an instrument. And pile number 1 got so many songs. There were so many songs that came in that got channeled. And so I think it's interesting that you guys didn't get music because of that, but just pointing it out. Anyways, and you could be here from pile number 1, and if you are, thank you so much. There's no requirement to watch multiple piles, but for those of you that do, I appreciate you spending the time with me, and I just appreciate anybody who spends any amount of time with me. It means the world to me. But with this combination of dice here, what men are secretly attracted to is the fact that you're somebody that they feel like they could come home to every night. Very healing. You could be someone that bakes or cooks, or you make some really good food, or they think that you make some really good food, or they know for sure you make some really good food, and that is something, you know, they're definitely, I see somebody like holding their stomach and just being like satisfied with a full tummy, like, yeah, that's the best. You know, when you lean back in your chair and you're just rubbing your belly because you ate some good food, you're like, yeah, that's what I keep seeing right now. So I feel like that men are secretly attracted to you because they feel like you would keep them satiated. You would keep them satisfied and with a full belly. Like they would never, ever go hungry, and they would always have something good to eat. Now, you can take that in a dirty way if you want to. All right? Because that's something that did just come in here too. I saw it. I'm not going to talk about it, but you guys know what I mean if you know what I mean. Okay? All right. Moving on. You are someone that's very fair. Like you see both sides of the story. You are someone that is willing to take a moment and really listen. Like, where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Let's find some middle ground here. Let's understand each other here. And let's bring back some sense of resolution to this situation. We don't need to be losing ourselves because of this. You're also someone that a lot of men feel like they've known their whole lives. It's like they feel like you're very familiar to them. And I actually feel like you maybe embody a lot of traits that a lot of these men have witnessed through past partners. And that's not a bad thing. I feel like you're the healed version of those toxic traits that they experienced with past partners. And so there's a sense of familiarity that comes with you. And it's just everywhere you go. Like you might hear a lot of the time men say, like, I feel like I've known you for forever. Now, I will say this. before I move on, I just want to mention that sometimes that is a very manipulative statement that men will use to try to control situations, okay? I just want to point that out. But I do feel like this is something that you've heard constantly from a lot of men before, even a lot of people. Like, people are like, I just feel like I've known you for a long time. I feel like I met you before. There's something really familiar about you. Have we met before? And you're like, no, I've never met you before. Like, maybe you guys grew up in completely different places. But there's something that's very familiar about you. Something that they feel like they could fall into. And that's why men are secretly attracted to you. There's something about being at home. Like, they just see you at home and greeting them at the door and being so excited that they're there. Like, these are things they're imagining, of course. And you might very well be someone that's like that. So excited that your partner's home. Why do I see? Oh my gosh. You could be someone who's so silly. Like, I just saw this image of a potato mountain with dino nuggets in it. I think this is a video I saw a long time ago where this wife did this for her husband. She's like, oh, we're gonna have a dino nugget party right when he walked home. And he's like, what are you talking about? She takes him into the kitchen and there's this mountain of mashed potatoes, and she had poured gravy on the top and made a little gravy river that went down, and there was gravy in the bottom of the mashed potatoes. She did this all on the counter. She laid foil out and did it, and then she cooked dino nuggets and stuck them all over. It was the cutest thing. And he came in and he was just like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And she's just laughing and she's having so much fun. She's like, here. And she took a dino nugget and fed it to him. And he was like eating it like so in shock. And he's like, how many boxes of potatoes did you use? She's like, only 4. And he's like, 4? He's like, how are we going to eat this all? She's like, don't worry, we'll eat it. But she was cracking up. And then finally, like, he wasn't mad or anything. He was just like, oh my gosh, this is my wife. Like, she's so silly. He was enjoying it. But it was so cute. He totally took all his stuff off and got down, and they were eating out of this mountain of mashed potatoes. It was so funny. But I feel like you would do something like that. Or what they feel like you would be someone like that. Like, you're goofy, you're silly, and you would do something that would always keep them on their toes. And there's no guessing with you. Like, it was just, it's always unique, and it's always so different every day that they spend with you. And so that's something that they're very attracted to. Spontaneous. That's the word. Thank you. Spontaneous. Very spontaneous. All right. So we're having a Kim Carnes day today. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot. Excuse me. You're very independent. You have multiple options. Like, you can choose anybody. And I feel like they realize that. Like, they realize that you have many, many people knocking at your door, men and women alike, just trying to be with you, trying to get a piece of you. And they respect who you choose. They realize, like, if they were the person that you chose, like, they would just be super grateful for that. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Pile number 1. Yeah, you're very emotionally stable. You're very clear about what it is that you want. And it's like you do little things emotionally that make such a big difference. You know, when you have I know there's a rat here on these cups, right? But you think about a rat. You know, rats live in colonies. They make families. And they're trying to protect their families at all costs, right? But even rats, like, if, you know, you have an infestation, I'm not saying you do. What I'm saying is, like, thinking about this in terms of the animal itself. Like, rats, they tear apart. Like, they'll destroy couch cushions to get the stuffing inside to create a safe home, a nest for their babies to grow up in, right? Like, they'll do little things that can make a huge disaster in the house, and it makes a big difference. And what I'm getting here with this, that symbology, it's showing it's like you do little emotional things that create huge avalanche moments for them, but in a good way. It's in a good way. It's not a destructive way. It's a very powerful way. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Pile 2. Yeah, you are always on the go. Like, you don't let anything get you down. You don't let anything hold you back. You're very clear about what you want. Why are men secretly attracted to you? You're even sometimes really cold. Like when you give this emotion to people, it's because you really mean it. Like you're not just giving everybody, like you give everybody love, but you're not just giving everybody access to those more intimate parts of yourself. And that's something that men find really attractive. Like they recognize that if they were able to unlock that door, that's literally getting a gem. That's getting a treasure. And so they respect your cold moments. They respect your boundaries. They respect you setting some very clear expectations. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Okay, one more. I wasn't going to do 5 cards today, but pile 1 they said it. Yep, you have options. You have options. The 2 wands on the bottom of the deck. Let's see what we got here. You are temptation. Yeah. And you work hard. But there's something incredibly sexy about you that men feel like they have to work extra hard to be seen. You would destroy them if they had access to you. And not like in the fact of like emotionally destroy them, just like, have you ever had a guy tell you you're going to be the death of me? Like he meant that when he said that, because it's like you are someone that they want to protect, they want to keep safe, they want to gouge out anybody's eyes who's looking at you. Like there's all kinds of emotions that are rolling around in them that like, like there's jealousy, there's oppression, there's possession, there's like, but and then at the same time, they're still trying to do their best to quell those darker emotions. But you're like the temptation for them. There's a lot of men. You could also get hit on by married men or emotionally unavailable men. That might be something that comes up a lot for you, and that might be really irritating for you, pile 2. But it's just, there's something about the way that you are. Like you are very much holding yourself in a very high value position. Like you are an Aston Martin in a world full of Hondas, right? And that's the thing. And it's like they see that and they want that, but it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to work at it. I'm going to try to convince pile number 2 that I'm the person for them. And I just feel like, again, they respect you because you already, like, you maybe see the tan line on their finger where their ring was, or you notice the ring and you're like, you're married. Why are you hitting on me? Like, you're very direct. I feel like there's something about you that's incredibly direct. But it's like with you, that's the temptation. It's like, what would it be like to have pile 2 at home? What would it be like for me to take care of pile 2? They would create something safely, something safe. Let me get there. Something safe at home, something that I could enjoy. They would be the mother or the father of my children. Like they would be someone that I could trust. They would be someone that I could be happy coming home to. And it would always be different, right? Think about that. A spider, whenever their home gets destroyed, they don't complain about it. They don't worry about it. They just take down the old web and they start again, and it's never the same. Like their web is never the same. It will always be a work of art. They think that you're a work of art. That's why they're secretly attracted to you. There's something about you that is so attractive, and I feel like it's your energy. It's not about what you look like. It's not about how you talk. It's not about how you dress. It's nothing physical about you. There's something about your energy that just drives the inner masculine of these men wild. Like they're just like, oh my gosh, pile 2, like what are you? But I just feel like it's because you're very clear about who you are. You're a very wise person. And you've had many times where you've had to heal from betrayals and from hurt and from just lies and deception. And I feel like that has given you clear insight to who you are. And you're very grounded in that sense of who you are, what you think like, and what you are going to ask for. And you're not afraid to ask for what you want. And that puts you on a very high level of attraction for men, because they're not, when they see you, if they said, okay, like, where would you want to go for dinner? You'd be like, well, I want to go here, here, and here. I'll let you choose. Like, you're going to give them options. You're going to let them choose. even though you're still the one that made the decision, right? They're going to choose, but you're also going to give them credit for that. Like, hey, you made a good choice for dinner. Thanks so much for taking me out. Like, there's just something very raw and feminine about it. It's like, even though you know what you want, you're not afraid to ask for it, right? Like for your birthday, say you want a certain type of bag or a certain type of shoes or a certain type of watch, right? You give them all of these options and then they go and they buy you one or they buy you all three of them, right? It's like you asked for exactly what you wanted and you got exactly what you wanted, but then you give them the credit for it. You're like, wow, you're so good at picking out presents for me. Like, thank you so much. Like, it just is a very innocent way to make them wild on the inside. And they're just like, oh my gosh, I need pile two. I need them at home. And I feel like the reason why you get hit on by married men too is because a lot of these married men are in very insufferable marriages with very, like, there's a lot of resentment that I'm feeling from some of these men from home. Like, their wives are in a state of resentment. They're in a state of resentment themselves. There could have been cheating. There could have been, you know, there's all different types of scenarios that are coming out here. But the thing is that when because they're comparing you to someone at home and they see how you make them feel very masculine, and then when they compare it to home, they feel demasculated, and that's enough to want to come forward and to hit on you and to be like, hey, pile two, what's up? And I feel like you're just very clear about that. You're like, nope, that's not what I'm into at all. And you know, again, I'm not here for judgment or anything like that. And I don't feel like we should judge others either. You know, like, they're going to do what they're going to do. And everybody has a choice to make. And whatever their choice is like, that's their choice. And that's theirs to handle. It's not for us to decide what kind of retribution they should get for that. But I do want to be clear, like, for those of you that have said no, and even if in the past you couldn't say no because you were just doing the best that you could, right? It's just taking accountability for our actions at that time. Like, if you did happen to get together with somebody that was with someone else, like, it's not worth beating yourself up for, and it's not worth letting other people say that you're total disgrace or anything like that. Because sometimes we don't know any better. And I know everybody's like, yeah, you did. You had a choice. But remember, we're always coming from how we feel internally. And that is a reflection of that. And so if you've grown out of that, that's a huge step forward. I feel like somebody needs to hear that right now. And that's something that has happened, like maybe in the past for someone here, you did sleep with a married man, or you got together with someone who was with someone else and maybe were a side chick and believed that something was going to be better or something was going to come from that. Or a side dude, right? Like, you know, that could be a side piece. We'll just say a side piece. And then realize like there was nothing going to change. Like, they were just keeping you on the side because that gave them access to something that they wanted, something more. And then they could still keep their home life. And you had to learn from that. Just don't beat yourself up and don't let other people make you feel guilty because of that. It was just a choice you made at that time with the information that you had at that time that served you best at that time. And, you know, we can't help who we fall in love with. And I feel like so many people are like, yeah, but you have a choice. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like you might have had a choice, but your emotions could have directed you otherwise. And every human has experienced that. And so those that are throwing stones, they live in glass houses, right? So remember that as it goes forward. Because I do feel like somebody was really harshly judged for a situation by that. Or it got out somewhere, some way, and there's a lot of people that were close to home that really judged you harshly because of that. And now it's like, oh, well, why do I feel like somebody here is saying, well, that's why married men hit on you is because you went and got with a married man. And so they think that it's okay. And I feel like you're not like that. And I feel like you never were like that. But again, decisions were made, and that was the past you. It's not who you are now. And even if it happened last week, just remember, like, you can always make a new choice. You can always choose to be in more alignment with yourself. And I just feel like that's something that needs to be said on your pile for some reason. Somebody needs to hear that somewhere. But I do feel like there's a lot of men here that just feel like you're someone they want to come home to. Like, there's just something very feminine and soft about you. There's something that's also very direct about you, where they would never have to guess what it was that you were thinking or what it was that you were feeling. Like, you're going to be very clear about those emotions. And that makes them feel very wild Unraveled, that's the word that's coming in. Yeah. Yeah, very nurturing. Something about home, right? Cancer energy, nurture, comfort, and protection. Like, you elicit this very protective energy from men. Like, they want to take care of you. There's something very innocent about you too. And you don't have to be innocent, but that's just, again, it's not how you look. This is not an outwardly thing. This is something that's very internal, that is inherent to your energy as you keep aligning with yourself and as you keep tapping in. This is something that's very, very strong within you. And it's like, it elicits this want for them to protect you, to provide for you, to take care of you, to demolish all your worries. Like, they just feel very masculine when they're around you. Okay, on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, house 12, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Didn't I say that at the beginning? There's something very healing about you. That's why I said it's interesting that that wanted to come out. And I was talking about earlier with the Libra, like, you see both sides. And I do feel like you notice both sides. Like, if that's something that you've been through before, like, you do see both sides of the situation, but you've definitely been kind of cruel to yourself at some point on your journey, pile 2. And I do feel like you're healing from that as well. And the more that you heal from that, remember, the more that that shines out within you is that strength that's there. Strength of not judging yourself for past actions and past mistakes. You know, like, everybody's making mistakes every day. And some are huge and some are small, but they're mistakes the same, right? And if we try to say, like, we're trying to live on some double-edged sword, like, oh, well, this mistake shouldn't be as bad as this mistake, but why do any mistakes have to be bad? That's how we learn, right? Of course, some people get hurt in the process. Of course, we've gotten hurt in the process. But at the end of the day, there's, like, no real handbook for humanity saying, like, here you go, this is how you're supposed to live. And I know some people say that there is, but even if we have a set of rules, we still make mistakes. Like, that's just so human of us, right? That's we're imperfect. And that's what makes us beautiful and amazing, is that imperfection. It's not the fact that it happened. It's the fact that we have the ability to learn from that. And I feel like that's exactly where you're at on your journey. Like, definitely keep seeing a page turning in your book, where you've now turned to a new chapter and you're experiencing a new chapter of your life, a new chapter of your reality. And you're looking at your past self and you realize that you can be strong, right? And maybe that's the other thing. Maybe you were a yes person. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I just feel really called to talking about this. It feels really strong on my heart right now. Like, maybe you were a yes person and people didn't realize that, but the same people who judged you benefited from you being a yes person, but did not see that as something that was okay for you to do the things that you did. But maybe it was because you felt bad for setting those boundaries with people, right? Like, I didn't know how to do that. And that's why you're in this new chapter of your life and setting very solid boundaries and asking for exactly what you want. And I do feel like the people who judged you the harshest for the way that you used to live, regardless of what that was, there's just coming in so strongly here. They are no longer benefiting from you by being a no person now, because I do feel like you're a no person. And they have definitely either created some sort of chaos and drama in your life, or they have checked out and they don't want anything to do with you. And that's really telling. Like, those people, like, look, if somebody's meant for you on your journey and you told them a story like this, they're not going to judge you based on that, right? They're going to be like, oh, well, you know, like, that was a part of your past. That's who you were then. Like, even if that's who you are now, like, if they love you and they care about you, they're going to support you and they're going to be a friend for you, which is a shoulder to cry on, right? Which is an ear to listen to, not a judgmental voice in your ear. That's not what a friend is. And I feel like that's the thing. And so that could also be the type of energy that you're providing some of these men, is that you're a shoulder to cry on. You are a supportive friend, right? You're an ear to listen. And you're not judging them for what they're doing. And that's another reason why I feel like that protective energy is coming through. It's like they just cherish that about you. So it's kind of twofold here, right? Why are men secretly attracted to you? The miracles are endless. Yeah, you're like a gift. Right? Balance, resolution, solutions, seeing yourself through eyes of love. You are a gift. and you're learning how to cherish yourself. And in cherishing yourself, others are starting to cherish you as well. You're setting the bar for how to be treated. And a lot of these men, they like that because you know that you need that soft, nurturing, protective space. And that's eliciting a response within them too. They want to give that to you. I cannot be at home. Something about home, like when they see you, they think about home. What would it be like to have pile 2 at home? Like, what does that look like for me? Definitely a lot of men imagine that with you. Feel like you're goofy, you're spontaneous. Things would always be really unique with you at home. Like there's no guessing as to what each day would bring. You embrace it as it comes. We have God energy here with the light attributes, benevolent, compassion, recognizing the eternal first within yourself and others. Yeah, it's like, I feel like, here's the thing. You're not a judgmental person, pile 2. I do feel like sometimes you've been very judgmental of yourself, but you're not somebody that really judges others harshly. And I feel like that is something that when you give that to yourself, it opens up new opportunities for you. And as you continue to step into that energy, it's showing you that there are a lot of people who appreciate you and aren't going to judge you as well. But I do feel like you've been harshly judged in your past. And that's something that's really hard for you, considering that you feel like it's not our place to judge others. Like everybody has their own choice to make and we have to let them make it. You know, and we have the shadow attributes as despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. Yeah, I do feel like you've been through a lot of cruelty in your life. Okay, and we have detective energy here. Great powers of observation and intuition, a desire to seek out the truth. And the shadows, voyeurism and falsifying information. Yeah, so I do feel like you've had to hide yourself in a lot of instances. And you're just now getting to a place where you can show yourself. And because you're showing your true colors, right? I can see your true colors shining through. I don't know who sings that song. But that's the thing. It's like you're showing your true colors. Like you're finally letting yourself shine. And men are highly attracted to that. Like you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. And because you're so authentic to yourself, it's just like they come flocking. Married, single, or otherwise. Like they just all come flocking because it's just you're shining so bright. Yeah, dilettante. We have delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alert you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Yeah, so you're allowing yourself to be authentic here. You're letting go of that superficial belief, like I have to judge myself, I have to be this, like everything's surface level, my actions are who I am. None of that's true, right? You are so much more than the choices and the actions that you've had in this life. Those are just things that have happened along the way. Good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. It's just all experiences that you've chosen to experience as a soul on this journey. It's not your soul. It's not who you are. It's not inherent to you, right? The shadow is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Yeah, and so I do feel like people who judged you, like, honestly, pile 2, I'm just going to say this because it's coming through so strong. I feel like the people who judged you the most are people who did the same thing. But they judged themselves so harshly, they projected it out on you. I know this is a very different type of reading, but this is something, I feel like this is why men are attracted to you, is because you're finally coming to terms with a really harsh decision that you made when you were younger, or something that you felt like you had to be super harsh to yourself with. And you're coming into this space of truly nurturing and caring for yourself. And now a lot of men, they feel that energy radiating from you, and they want to provide that safe space for you. It's all about your perspective, how you see yourself. So I said, this is not how you look. This is how you see yourself. Okay. Yeah. Sanctuary, the womb, the cave represents the womb, the safety, the place for you to grow and thrive. And so there's a lot of men who feel very masculine around you. They want to provide that safe space for you. What a powerful energy you have. It just elicits this need for, like, I'm going to take care of you, right? I'm going to protect you. I'm going to make sure everything works out for you, pile 2, within men. And that's why men are attracted to you. It's like you make them feel strong. It's not that you're weak. It's your strength gives them permission to feel their strength. And that's what it is. Mutable. Yeah, times are changing. Like there's something here that you've had to go with and change. And I feel like it's your energy is just changing because you're choosing to see yourself as a whole complete package as you are. Malefics. Yeah, beware of the challenges after something that was a huge challenge. After something that you judged yourself very harshly for. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's get one of these. Yeah, guilt. I can't. Okay. I release any belief that no longer assists in my soul's growth. So that's the thing. There's something that you felt very guilty about. And that's the other thing. It's like, I feel like there's a lot of men who maybe made bad choices too, and why they're attracted to you is because you've released that guilt about yourself. And that's given them space to release the guilt about themselves. And that energy creates a massive change. It's like a ripple that's going throughout, right? Like you're creating the ripple. And look at this, both of these energies, right? The swirl, the Fibonacci sequence at play here. So it's like you're the center of this because you're the one that's your universe, right? So you're the light in your universe, and your light is rippling out. Your light is rippling out. It's creating change for people. And it's like helping them to let go of things that they've been made to feel guilty for, things that they've been made to feel like they should always blame themselves for. Like, I feel like there's a lot of other people at play here for you and for a lot of these men that find you attractive. Like, you might notice that there's a lot of men here who have a very similar path to you. Like they cheated on their partner, or they also got involved with someone that was with someone. Like I feel like you might see a lot of similar energies. And if that's not your story, then you're still going to see a lot of similarities between you and the men that come into your life, because that's what it is. It's all about you changing the perspective of yourself, and that's filtering out so that people can let go of that guilt that they've had for themselves. Yeah, so we have abundance on the bottom here. I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So the other reason why men are secretly attracted to you is because you're very abundant, and you give them permission to stay in their own abundance. So we're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book and see what it says. The siren. So, you know, sirens, they sing the song. Isn't that funny? It's so crazy that you didn't get channeled as much music as Pile 1. Pile 1, it was just song after song after song after song that came in. But you picked the banjo and you got the siren. But sirens, they sing their song to the sailors, and they basically, it makes them drown themselves to come home to these beautiful women, right? Which are the mermaids or the sirens. And so I feel like it's definitely this essence of the forbidden fruit. You're the temptation that a lot of men feel like, oh, I want that in my life. But also there's this energy where a lot of men realize like they cannot fulfill the position that you need them to. And yet that still doesn't stop them from trying. It still doesn't stop them from approaching you and saying, hey, what's up, Pile 2? But you are definitely on a different level, very metaphysical, very spiritual, very mysterious. There's something very profound about you. And there's some sort of gem that you wear in your heart space that radiates out to everybody. So you could have Cancer in the 9th house. You could have Cancer in your moon or your rising sign as well. You have just a lot of Cancer in your chart. You can also have Sagittarius in the 8th houses coming through here. Or you could have Taurus in the 2nd house. These are the things that I'm feeling right now. So let's see what Siren says from the book, and we'll get more information here. This is number 18. That's 28. Okay. So Siren says the temptress. Yeah, wasn't I saying that? There's something very tempting about you. The seducer, the femme fatale. It says other iterations of the siren archetype include the nymph, the mermaid, and the fairy. They often come in sets of 3 as a trinity of temptation. It says embodying the siren archetype requires that we explore things that are taboo. Now I understand why that information was coming through, because it's something that's taboo that people find a reason to judge in the first place before they even know anything about it. Or even if they've experienced them themselves, it's still like, oh, well, it's taboo, so I should just join the whole company of judgment because it's just easier than it is to stand out, right? It says a siren laughs at conventions and constraints. She eats rules. Says the siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. And that's something that's come through. Like, a lot of men are lusting after you, but it's not how you look. It's your energy. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. Wow. What a powerful message to come through with your reading, pile 2. It's the journey that matters. And the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. Yeah. So it says, when light, your awakened sensuality, absorption, and arousal. When dark, wickedness, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, and instability. So adultery coming out, we talked about that in this reading, right? Very powerful message. To go deeper, check out J.W. Waterhouse's Nymph Paintings, Lana Del Rey's album, Ultraviolet. So very powerful energy here. It's like you're the forbidden fruit. For sure, you are someone that is a temptation for a lot of men. And again, it's not necessarily the way that you look. It's just there's something about your energy that they cannot keep themselves away from. Very feminine, a very feminine energy about you that they feel like they need to protect. They feel like they need to cherish. They feel like they need to take care of. And that's why maybe you've gotten a lot of married men who have come to you. And again, if not, that's okay. That's just a very, very specific message to this pile. But also, you might resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning, which if you feel called to watching it, there might be some additional messages for you as well. Considering that this came out as the, where was it here? The psychic, yeah, the deep psychic descent. So there might be some additional message for you. Find the timestamp for that down below in the description box, okay? And I've been trying to tag in the comments the timestamps as well, just to make it easier for you guys. But this is what I see here for you today, pile number 3. What a powerful, powerful reading it has. If you felt like this was your reading, leave a little mer person down below. Mermaid, merman, merperson, whatever it is you feel like you feel called to or identify with. Leave that down below and say, I am a light that is beautiful, intoxicating, captivating, and amazing, and I choose to see myself as the brilliant light I am in this moment. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. So with that, I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today, pile 2. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Jupiter on it, or perhaps you felt called to this clear crystal quartz, or maybe you felt drawn to this card during the shuffle. This is going to be your reading on why are men secretly attracted to you. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. We're all here sharing this human experience together. I do things differently here on this channel. So there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There is no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journeys. If the message happens to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So, with that, pile 3, I don't know if you can see my shadow over here. I have a channel message for you, and that was that men are attracted to you and they want to be the father of your baby or father with you. Like they want to know what it is to have kids with you. So much father energy coming in here. This could be the father of your children, or this could be like a baby's daddy coming into. So as we move forward, just keeping that in mind, but definitely men want to father a child with you. Like they want to know what that is, okay? Why are men secretly attracted to pile number 3? Why are men secretly attracted to you, pile number 3? Source, what would you like to share with us today? So we have the 11th house, we have Pisces energy and Neptune, yeah. So you're a mystery. They feel very close to you though, like there's some sort of camaraderie between you and them. They feel like you're like a best friend type of energy. They could get down and roll with you, a ride or die. Like you're someone that they can go and have no plans at all. Or they could have really fancy plans and they feel like you would be down for it all. Why do we hear that song like, do you want to do nothing with me? What is it? So I'll put on my finest sweatpants and I'll order you pad thai. We'll be living our dreams as our love grows. All I need for medication is you and me and HBO till morning light. I don't know who sings that song, but it's like, that's the song. But it's like that, like, I'll put on my finest sweatpants and I'll order you pad thai. Like that's what they feel like. They could just have a chill night with you. And I'm not talking about Netflix and chill, what everybody says it is now, but they could really Netflix and chill with you. Like actually do Netflix and chill, ordering some Chinese, some whatever, right? Like they know that they could do that with you and you'd be cool with that. Or if you want to go out and have a night on the town, they know that you'd be cool with that too. And they feel like that is so attractive. Like you're down for everything. And it's not that you're a yes person. We actually had that energy come through in one of the readings, but it's not that you're a yes person. It's that you are naturally adventurous, but you're always just, you are very interchangeable. Like you go with the flow. And so if you're feeling it, you're going to be down with it. But also I feel like sometimes you might make plans and you might cancel plans and they're cool with that too. Like they like that you do that too. And so it's not something that they've ever taken personally. Like if you've planned a date night together, planned something going out together, and then suddenly you're like, I just don't have it in me. I feel like you actually being able to say that to them, it's like, oh, okay, like I respect that about you, pile 3. Like that's something that's really cool. So these could be men, or specifically one man that is a friend to you, or men that are around you in your community. So, you know, wherever you feel like you have a community, whether that's an apartment building that you live in, a home community that you live in, some sort of meeting that you go to weekly, or whatever it is, it's like these are men in your community. They do feel like you're very dreamy, very sexy, that you're very mysterious, and also very, very tapped in, very psychic is coming in. And so with that being said, you also might resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning of the reading, which you'll find timestamp down below, also pinned in the comment section. So if you feel called to that, you can check that out. There's no obligation though. You don't have to. Okay. But you might find some more additional answers there. I also feel like you're just somebody that is very unpredictable, and that's something that they like. Not like dramatic unpredictable. You're just unpredictable. Like one day you guys will be out cruising in your car and you might be like, oh hey, look, there's a park, pull over and turn up the music all the way, and you hop out and you're like, let's dance, and they're like, what? Like right here? And you're like, yeah, let's dance. Or the next day you might tell them like, let's go out to the ocean and let's hang out, let's play hooky for a day or something like that. Like you're just very up for anything and you follow your ideas because that's where your bliss is. And it's like they can't help but enjoy that as well. Maybe you guys take long road trips and you have no destination, or you guys just like to cruise at night. So that's the type of energy that's coming in. It doesn't have to be that, but it can be anything. Like you like to travel a lot. Like maybe one day you're like, I want to go to Paris, and you just book a flight and you're on the flight the next week. You're like, cool, I'm not even tripping about it. We're going to go. And they're like, whoa, I'll do it too. So why are men secretly attracted to you? Very in touch with your inner child. Like whatever it is that feels like a good idea to you that is going to bring you joy or happiness, you're going to do it, right? If you want to bake some cookies, you're going to bake some cookies. If you want to make your favorite comfort food, you're going to make your favorite comfort food. If you want to watch a kid show, like something you watched when you were growing up, like you're going to watch it, and you're not going to let anybody judge you because of that. You know, like if I'm going to get down with some TMNT, like I'm going to get down with TMNT. We're going to order popcorn. We're going to get the whole shebang bang, and we're even going to bring our own snacks. And we're maybe even going to watch it on a projector. Why? Because I can. Why does there need to be a reason to it, right? And that's the type of energy that you bring, and that's something that they dig. Like, they really like that about you. Why are men secretly attracted to you, pile number 3? Yeah, you're all about what makes you feel really good, right? And it's not in a selfish way. Like, this isn't about self-centeredness. That's not what this is. It's just you. I feel like for you, pile 3, you live so much of your life letting others dictate what was right and wrong for you, that when you finally discovered what it is that you liked, like you try everything, and you're willing to try everything once, and that leads you to this very abundant, fulfilled, well-rounded life. And it's like nothing is really off limits. I mean, as long as it's within reason, right? You're not obviously going to put yourself in danger, but you know, you might do like bungee jumping or skydiving or parasailing or things like that. Like, you could just have a lot of, like, a thrill junkie, adrenaline junkie is coming in. But, like, seems like nothing really bothers you. It's like, or the things that really scare you are really cute. Like, maybe you're afraid to sing in public, right? Like, but you're not afraid to go skydiving. Like, maybe you're afraid to get up and give a speech in front of people. Like, I'm getting, like, in front of people. Or maybe you're really scared to, like, if you're a writer or something like that, you're really scared to put yourself out there and show people you're writing, but you're not afraid to do something that's super, what people would think is dangerous, even though you go into it with all safety and everything like that, right? That's what this feels like. And they really like that about you. They think it's so adorable. Like, the things that scare you are really cute, right? Like, it's really cute. They're like, oh, look at what scares pile number 3. All the things that they do just normally scare the crap out of me, but what scares them is adorable. So they really think that you're adorable. Why are men secretly attracted to you? Why are men secretly attracted to you? Okay. Do you want to do nothing with me? All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the 6 of coins. Yeah, and you're also someone that, like, when you're there, you're present. You're present. You're not on your phone. You're not distracted by things. Like, and if you happen to get distracted, which is normal for people, right? Like, well, we just live in a very distracting world. So, like, if something does catch your attention, you get distracted. Like, you're also the first one to say, I apologize, I was distracted, right? Like, I was distracted. I was watching what was going on over there. Could you please repeat? Like, you're not just going to, like, skip over it and be like, oh, sorry, what you were saying doesn't matter. Like, you're someone who's very present with conversations, with time spent, and men find that very attractive. Yeah, the Hermit. You're not afraid to be alone. Yeah, you've definitely been through some rough things, but now you're getting guided by your intuition and by source. Yeah, you make a decision. Like, I feel like you make very snap decisions. Like, just whatever feels right for you, you go towards that. And it's sometimes people might judge you for being, like, immature, but it's not. I feel like for you, it's just about really reconnecting with your inner child. And there's that sense of fun. Like, maybe you go out to a park and you're like, hey, let's play tag. And you guys start playing tag, or you are like, try and catch me. And so it's like you make everything like a game, or you make everything like something that's fun, right? Like, you're trying to bring a lot of fun and play and pleasure into your life. And that's a decision that you make every day. And when you're having fun and when you're able to get others to have fun, like, people remember that. And I feel like you've done that with a lot of men, actually. And it's whether or not they're romantic interests or not, it's just something like everywhere you go, like you're trying to help people just reconnect with that side of themselves, their inner child. It's like, put down the devices, put down, you know, like all these things, put away your worries, and let's just enjoy life for this moment, because this is the moment we're being given. And you do that. So you feel like you dance, you sing, you laugh a lot. And I feel like you have a very beautiful laugh, or very, a very contagious laugh. Like when you laugh, everybody laughs. Or you have a very cute giggle, like you giggle and people are like, oh my gosh, you're giggle. And that makes you giggle more. And then other people start laughing or giggling with you. Like you can't help it. You are also someone that's not afraid to draw back. Like that's what I was saying. Like if you, the hermit energy coming in, it's like, I feel like you get asked out on a date, and you're all for it. But then say maybe the day before or the day of, suddenly you're not feeling like it, and you will tell somebody that you're like, I know I was so excited to go on this date, but I just don't have the energy to go out. Like if I go out with you tonight, it's going to be a bad time, and I don't want it to be a bad time. So we can either reschedule, or maybe let's choose something that's not so overexerting, right? And they really respect that. They really respect that about you. I feel like the main thing that they really respect about is you're so decisive. It doesn't matter if it's child fun, like, you know, what people have said is childish, whatever it is like, I feel like it just doesn't matter. You're very decisive. Like, this is what I want to do today. I want to watch my favorite kid show that I had growing up, or I want to go and play the games that I used to play as a kid, or I just feel like a lot of inner child work is being done right now for you. There's also this energy where you've been watched a lot by a lot of people. Like people watch your Facebook, they watch your Instagram, they watch your Snapchat, they watch your TikTok, like they watch where you're posting. And you never change. No matter where you're at, you never change. And so there's a very strong consistency about you that men are secretly attracted to. And also there's something that has been, you know, I read the Tarot Marseille, and the Three of Swords in the Tarot Marseille isn't really looking at a broken heart, but we see the Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism here in this deck. Right, especially with the swords and the red string around them, which in the Rider-Waite-Smith it talks about broken heart, being hurt, the betrayal. And it's interesting because in getting it twofold, it's almost like you had been through a very rough connection with somebody at some point that cracked open the seed of your soul. And that hurt that you went through, hurt like no other. Being cast aside, being, you know, that's what it really feels like, being cast aside. Like almost as if you'd been forgotten. Like I'd given so much of myself to this person and now I'm forgotten. And that energy cracked open the seed of your soul. And in cracking open the seed of your soul, something beautiful blossomed from that. And whoa, my goodness. Okay, so I can't make this up. I don't know if somebody came and put it in, but I'm pretty sure my awning just retracted itself. I don't know if that video caught it. Hold on just a second. I need to go check on that. RV living. There's never a dull moment. So it didn't retract itself. I don't know what happened, but it just, I think the wind picked it up and that was really loud. It bounced the whole RV. I don't even know if it bounced the camera or not, but anyways, as we were talking about that, and I feel like they see, there's almost like the beauty in the sorrow. And I'm not trying to put this as like what you went through is something that, oh my gosh, you should look at it as it was beautiful. That's not what this is. It's like, you know, I'm hearing this song, and it's by, who sings that? It's like, have you ever seen, ever felt, ever smelled, ever seen the rain, 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 right? It's like the song is talking about how, like, I'm hurting, but you've never felt the rain. You've never seen the rain. You've never tasted the rain. You've never been in the rain like I have. And there's some, like, haunting beauty to that's underlying in your soul. And a lot of men are attracted to that haunting beauty, not because they want to aggravate it, but because it provides a depth to you that not very many people are able to gain access to. And that broken heart that you had gone through is actually what opened up the journey for you to deepen the connection with yourself, to heal your inner child, and to deepen your connection with the divine. And that's something that's incredibly powerful that shines through with you. Who sings that song? I wish it's the same one that sings Dance Monkey. The Tones and I think is what it is. I think the song is called Rain. Okay, but it's The Tones and I. And it's Rain. And you might, if you check it out, you might get some additional messages from that song. A lot of songs coming out today. Some of you might have watched all 3 piles with me, and if you did, I really appreciate you spending that whole time with me. That means so much. And even if you didn't, thank you for being here with me. But if you did watch all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below or say, I made it. I know what that means, and I just want to say thank you. You're part of the Purple Heart Club. So we've got Gemini energy coming out, curiosity, intellect, and networking. Yeah, and I feel like that's a thing. You are networking with people, you're connecting with people, and it doesn't matter if you're connecting with someone you're romantically interested in or with someone that you're not, someone you're just trying to build business with. You don't really change. Like, you're still this very fun, innocent, playful person. You joke, you make people smile, you laugh. You bring a sense of innocence to everything, and that's something that men find really attractive about you. You could also get hit on by a lot of older men. Like, a lot older than you, right? We're talking about 15 plus years older than you. You might have always wondered, like, why is that? Why are older men hitting on me? And that's something like they want to take care of you, but that father energy too. So there could be you had maybe a difficult relationship with your father, and that's being mirrored back to you in that. Well, I do also think that you bring a sense of innocence into life that most men just want to have a part of. Fixed energy, you could have definitely resonated with another pile. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. Like, you're just someone who's very persistent. You have a lot of resolve for your journey and a lot of resolve for healing as well. And it stands out. And as you heal, you're giving others an opportunity to heal as well. You give them space to heal. And that's something that's very profound. Yeah, co-create with spirit, with Crow Spirit here. Yeah, you're very connected to the divine. And that's something that is intriguing. And it holds a lot of mystery that I feel like men are very attracted to. Learn from the past. Yeah, there's something here. Again, with that broken heart coming out, it's something that taught you a very valuable lesson, right? I remember what I went through, but I'm not going to let what I went through become who I am. You became so much more than what your past was. You learned from it. Okay, thank you. Student. Learn. It's interesting because I was just thinking about Rafiki in The Lion King when he hits Simba over the head with his little staff or whatever, and Simba's like, ow, what the heck was that for? And he's like, it doesn't matter. It is in the past. You can either run from it or you can learn from it. Like, that's the thing. And it's interesting because with learn from the past, and then we have student coming out. Yeah, so I feel that's a thing. Like, you could either run from what happened to you in the past, but you didn't. You chose to learn from it. And so when men are able to learn that story or that side of you, whether that's through you sharing online or sharing your story in some, maybe you've written about your story somewhere, you have a blog somewhere, or you've just shared parts of your past with others, it's something that leaves them absolutely in awe, because they've maybe met other people who've gone through so much less than what you have, who've turned out, I hear rotten, like rotten to the core. That's what is coming through. I mean, it's just people choose the side of themselves that they wish to feed, and you've chosen to feed the light. And it's something that makes you even more beautiful, more attractive. So we have the light attributes are humility, devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. And the shadow is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Yeah, you're just constantly observing and learning what's going on around you and gaining wisdom from that. You are an old soul. So you may have been told that too growing up, like you're an old soul, or you have you act a lot older than your age. But even now as you grow older, like you could still have that. You are wise beyond your years, but you might not look your age either, right? You could look younger than your age, or you're just young and you're incredibly wise. So whatever it is, right? It always shocks men how much you know. Forest breath. Yeah, you give them space to breathe. You're not oppressive. You're not demanding. You're not commanding their energy. You're just like, you know what? It's cool. Just show up however you're going to show up, because I'm going to keep showing up as me. And, you know, it's going to be determined on how you show up too. Like, if you treat me bad, that's going to determine whether I stick around or not. And you're okay with that. You're very confident about your discernment. Yeah, build your community. So a lot of these men are a part of your community, whatever that means to you. Right? It could be church. It could be a group you go to, book club. This could be, you know, people in your housing community, right? Housing community. This could be an apartment community that you have, you know, block parties that you go to, whatever it is. Just men that are around you. And I feel like the men that are around you, they really admire you too. Not only are they attracted to you, they just really admire you. Health. Yeah, you have a healthy view of life. That's what I heard with this card. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Like, you take your healing very seriously, and you talk about your healing. And I feel like for some men that are very attracted to you, like, you talking about your healing is new. That's not something that they've ever witnessed before. They've never witnessed someone who is willing to be self-aware, or to look at themselves along the journey and ask, what part am I playing in all of this? And you do that. Yeah, on the bottom, success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. So there's a lot of men here who are attracted to you because you're very successful. You're very confident. You're calm. You're collected. More than anything, you're successful at tapping into the inner child and having fun. And it lets them have fun too. Yeah, believe it or not, men actually love connecting with their inner child, but a lot of them have been chastised along the journey and told that they're too old for that anymore. But, you know, when you see guys, if you get that again with the father energy that kept coming out, right? If you get dads that are happy dads, right? They're happy being dads. Like, they're going to be a big kid no matter what. They're going to play the games with their kids. They're going to have as much fun with it as their kids. Men like to tap into the inner child. It's just something that they really do like. But there's a lot of men who've been told to get serious, grow up. You can't do that. You know, that's too childish for you. And you're bringing back a space where it's like, no, let's do it together. Like, stop acting like you have to be so serious. Life is too damn short for that. Excuse me. That came out way faster than I was ready for. But that's the energy that you bring. Right? Okay, so we have addict. Yeah, there's some guys here that are addicted to you, for sure. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. The shadows compromises integrity. And honesty allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So I do feel like there's a lot of guys that they're addicted. They're just very attracted to you, very addicted to you. They need to be around you all the time. But I do feel like your energy is very addictive. And, you know, not in a bad way. It's just very... it's affirming is what it is. It's like validating that I can be free without feeling judged. And that is something that is very addictive. We have healer coming out here. Yeah. And you're very healing. Something about your healing journey is very important to you. And you share that. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. The shadow is taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. Yeah, your healing journey is something that they're very attracted to as well. It's like a part of who you are. And it's made you so attractive, but you also give them space to heal. Your connection to spirit with ceremony and invocation here, yeah. So your psychic abilities are something that men actually find very, very attractive. Whatever they are, whether it's one of the clairs or being a psychic medium, or if you're a tarot card reader, if you're a candle wax reader, or if you are, you do tea leaves, coffee grounds, whatever it is, I feel like you share that part of yourself with others that you trust. And some of these men that you trust, that you've shared that with, and even if you don't, like maybe it's just a part of who you are and you share that, that's a part of your healing journey, is not being afraid of that part of yourself any longer. You share that with others and they find it very attractive. Like, it just suits you. But it suits you because it's your expression of your connection with the divine, which is beautiful in and of itself, right? Pluto, go all in. There's something about your shadow that's very beautiful as well. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like the pain that you've gone through, the beauty and the suffering. It's something about what you've experienced in the past that was so harsh and so overwhelming. But you never allowed that to change the beautiful soul and the kind, gentle-hearted energy that you exhibit. You never fed the shadow. You instead embraced the shadow, and in embracing the shadow, you were able to bathe it in the light and let it become a part of you. And that is something that men find so attractive about you. They secretly find that so attractive about you. And I feel like a lot of men have a hard time articulating that, because how do you tell someone it's the pain that you went through that makes you so irresistible? Because it almost feels like, I'm glad that you went through that pain. But that's not what they're trying to say at all. They just see behind the eyes the hurt that's there. And they wish that they could shield you from it. But they also realize that that hurt and that pain is what led this path to healing. And led this path to connecting with the divine. So they know that without that, you wouldn't be in the energy that you're in today. And that's why they feel like it's such a beautiful part of you, because without that, you would have never expressed yourself fully in who you are now. And your full expression is what is so beautiful about you. Your authentic self is what's so beautiful about you. So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. The Cave. So the Cave came out, not this card, but another card from another deck. The Cave came out in another deck. So you could have resonated with another one of the piles for sure. But all about being safe in the womb, seeing in the darkness. I don't know if you can see these two eyes there, right? Seeing in the darkness. That's what I was saying. Like, you embraced the darkness and bathed it in light. And were able to integrate that into yourself. And so there's something that's frightening about the cave, but there's also something like, if you took a flashlight into a cave, what wonders are you going to see when you go in there? Are you going to see crystals? You're going to see stalactites and stalagmites. Like, what are you going to see? If you've ever gone into a cave, I've been into the Carlsbad caves. I've been into the fantastic caves. Like, I try to go wherever I'm at. I try to go into the caves because they're just so fascinating inside. But if there were no lights inside of them, you wouldn't be able to see the beauty that's there. And it is beautiful, right? There's even creatures that only grow in caves. And because it's so dark, they've adapted and they don't even grow eyes because they don't even need them, right? So those are things to think about. It's like you've adapted to the darkness. You don't need eyes to see in the darkness. You just need to trust your light. And that's something that they find incredibly beautiful about you. You trust your light, no matter how hard a situation gets. So number 32. All right. The dark, the portal, the interior. That's the the sorrow behind the eyes, the beauty and the sorrow. It says, slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of caves. Let the cave teach you patience. And they take millions of years to form. Like, it's wild when you go in, and if you have somebody that's a tour guide and you can ask them questions, you know, you think about it, it's like the bigger the stalactite or the bigger the stalagmite, the longer that it's been there. And, you know, it's hard to say exactly how long they've been there, but I mean, more than tens of thousands of years. It's incredible. Envision yourself as an old sage, right? Didn't I say you're an old soul? Like, you carry a lot of wisdom with you. As an old sage in a cave, what amenities do you need? What draws you even closer to the cave within the cave? Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of the compassion. Isn't that funny? I was saying the broken heart. It's like the sorrow of the broken heart. That's the thing that's coming through. And so the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend to the fire. When light, the sacred center within. When dark, withdraw, isolation, and hiding. To go deeper, check out Lascaux, the Cave of Crystals, and the Blue Grotto. Wow. So that's the thing. It's like your shadow is what's so beautiful to men. Like, what is so attractive to them. It's not the shadow that seems to be broken. It's the shadow that you've healed. That's what's so beautiful, because it's like you have gone through something that so many people would have just allowed themselves to completely diminish after, and you didn't. You became stronger, and you became more empowered, and you stood up and said enough is enough, and I choose my life now. And the fact that you can still stand in a place of enveloping your inner child just goes to show how little the past influences your now moment. You're very much in this present moment. And that gives them space to be in this present moment with you, which is very healing in and of itself. What a beautiful energy. Thank you so much for being you, Pile 3. So this is what I see here for you today. If you guys feel like this is your reading, leave the little black heart emoji down below and say, by embracing my darkness, I am able to fully shine in my light while leaving space for others to find their darkness as well. And if it resonated with you, it'd mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. So with that being said, I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.